Hello, my name is Richard Anthony Marca,
And hello, my name is Victoria Leyva.
and this is the second update for the final project in mobile app development. On my end of the updates, I did reinforcing some of these files that have already been made. Even though it's still a work in progress, the profile setup is complete where you can effectively create the files in Firestore. The second upgrade I did on my end was the authentication service. I implemented that and upgraded it to where it does sign up, sign in, and sign out functionalities. The updated login page UI update, which users can input email and passwords and authenticate through Firebase, which includes error dialogues and a link to the registration page. I also upgraded the registration page UI, where users can sign up by entering emails, passwords, and confirm their password. It also validates inputs, providing feedback for mismatched passwords. And now it's able to demand that new passwords have specific requirements, such as uppercase and lowercase letters, symbols, and numbers, and a specific length for the password. And lastly, I updated the colors and themes to make sure that the colors are in a separate background so that the foreground and background of the app are consistent. We don't have to worry about putting colors separately into each file. We just have to go back to these color files.
On my end, I implemented 5 new features. And so for the first feature that I added was the recipe overview screen. And this includes the image, rating, and the ingredients or the directions tab. For this, I added a scaffold, an app bar, an image ad set, a tab bar, and a navigator. For my second feature, I added a navigation and routes. And so basically, I went ahead and set up the navigation routes between screens and bottom navigation bar. And with this, I added a navigator, a material page route, and a bottom navigation bar. And for the third feature, I added a recipe direction screen, which for detailed cooking steps in a scrollable format. And with this, I'd added a scaffold, a list view builder, and a padding. And for the fourth feature, I updated the main and I went ahead and added an authorization to the main file. With this, I went ahead and added the authgate.dart file and routes. For the last feature, I added a cooking mode screen with recipe, details, and interactive buttons. And I used the stack, expanded, icon, and the bottom navigation bar.
And here is a live demonstration of our app. As you can see, we have the login friends with the actual name of our app, which we will call Foodie Friends. So I will do the same login I did before and enter my password. Log in. And this is an example of the homepage.
So at the bottom, we have the navigation bar. And so right here, we have the home screen. And next, right next to it, we have the search screen. And so if we go ahead and click on it, we can see that we have a tofu stir fry, and we have it as a delicious tofu stir fry recipe. And if we go ahead and click on it, we can see that it displays a large image and it goes ahead and shows the rating um, of this food, which is we have it as for now as a 5.0, and it has 150 reviews. And later on, we'll go ahead and add 5 videos based on this review. And so below that, we have the servings, and it serves for 2 people. And we also have the time of the prep time amount, which is 15 minutes. And we also included the cook time, which is for 10 minutes. And then we went ahead and added a small description of what this overall recipe meal is. And so below that, we also included the list of ingredients. And later on, we'll go ahead and format the ingredients just a little bit neater and cleaner for the user. And next to it, we have the directions. And so here, went ahead and added the directions for this meal. And so if we were to go ahead and click add to favorites, it brings us to this tofu stir fry video, which right now we cannot interact with it, but later on we will implement that. But here in this video screen, we can see that it still shows the rating, the reviews, and likes. It also displays the serving, the prep time, and cook time. And later on, we'll go ahead and also have the start cooking and the add to list to be clickable. And so users can go ahead and interact with that.
And here is our code for this project. This is the main start page. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff that is commented out because it is still considered a work in progress, but they should be working by the next video. And if I go over to colors, this is the colors stuff. Throughout our file, it's very small, but it has how the background was that color, this light color here. We're going to be adding some more colors here too for things such as text color, primary text color for dark mode, primary text color for light mode, things like that. And then here is the home page, which we have called screen homepage under the screen subfolder. And as you can see, we have changed a bit here. We use the primary colors. The foreground colors I'm going to be changing to a different color in the future updates. The selected items, as you saw on the bottom, were a lot easier to see. The selected items was a nice green, while the unselected items were a yellowish that are still visible, but you know which tab you're on, especially with the icons of home, search, bookmarks, and profile. As you can see, the image.assets, where we added the assets in this asset file, currently the only one right now, which is also in our YAML file under assets.
And so next we have the cookie mode screen.dart file. And so this file contains the cookie mode screen widget, which supports an interactive cooking screen with a large image and control buttons. And so this cookie mode screen basically displays the recipe details and interactive options for cooking mode. We went ahead and added a stack widget that is under the parent of the expanded widget. And so basically this is a layers widget. And so here we're allowing the recipe image and play icon to be center over each other. And so for the expanded widget, it basically controls the screen layout to maximize the image section. And we also added a icon and a bottom navigation bar. And so with this, it basically adds a navigation buttons at the bottom of the screen. And next, we have our recipe direction screen dart file. It contains the recipe direction screen widget, and it displays detailed cooking steps in a scrollable list. And the recipe direction screen basically presents a list of steps for cooking the recipe, and we added a scaffold widget basically that sets up the base screen layout. And we also added a list view builder widget, basically dynamically generates a list of cooking steps. And we also added a padding widget that adds spacing to elements within the screen. Next, we have our recipe overview screen.dart file. And so this file contains the recipe overview screen widget, which shows a summary of a recipe with an image, rating, ingredients, and directions tab. And so this recipe overview screen implements the main recipe display screen with tabs and navigation to other features. And we added a scaffold widget that provides a basic structure for the screen. And we also added an app bar that displays the title of tofu stir fry at the top of the screen. And we also added an image asset that loads and shows the recipe image from the asset. We also added a tab bar and tab bar view, and this creates tabs to switch between ingredients and the directions. And last but not least, we also added a navigator used for navigation to the cooking mode screen when add to favorite is clicked. Our last file, which is the screen search page.dart file. And so here it contains a search screen widget that basically displays a list of recipes with navigation links. And with the navigation and routes, it enables navigation from the search results to recipe details and directions. And we also added the list view that lists available recipes with the list tile items. And so each list tile has an on tap handler that uses navigator.push to navigate to the recipe overview screen or the recipe direction screen, depending on where the user were to tap on the item.
Thank you for listening to our presentation on this app update, and we will see you on the next update for this final project.
Yes, thank you for watching our video.